So, our next session is on municipal governance, leveraging digital technologies to sustain and maximize reach and impact of services to citizens, presented by Softthink Intelligent Solutions Private Limited. At this session, we are honored to have Ms. Tusha Ramani. She is a Joint Director, Directorate of Municipal Administration, Karnataka State. And Ms. Padma Sri Balaram, Partner, Social Venture Partners, India, in conversation with Mr. Tanmay Chakravarti, Advisor, Government Business, Softthink Intelligent Solutions Private Limited. Sir and ma'am, please join us on stage.
A very good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for your patience. I know overall we are running way behind schedule, so we'll try to be short and succinct in this session. Essentially, this is about the fact that 50% of India is going to be urbanized by 2030. And that presents a huge pressure on existing urban municipal infrastructure. But it also presents tremendous opportunities for technology induction to be able to bridge the gap between the very limited ability to service burgeoning populations of these cities that we have around the country. And the only way that this can be possible is to leverage technology, to be able to disintermediate the physical interface between citizens and municipalities. I have the privilege to moderate this session and also bring the experience of having worked extensively with municipalities around the country in my previous life when I was heading the government business for TCS, including the transformation of digitization of the Calcutta Municipal Corporation several years ago. And I can clearly see that the only way forward is to be able to bring in more and more relevant technologies, and therefore the opportunity for the startup community in India to be able to look at some of these urban challenges and come up with disruptive technology solutions that can address these in the form of outcome. In this session, I have a municipal practitioner, Tusha Ramani, as a practitioner in Karnataka, and she has been a municipal commissioner in her past career, as well as now looking at the municipal administration department in Karnataka. So she will come with some of the opportunities that she sees as challenges, which can be taken up as opportunities for the startup community in terms of technology development. And we have Madam Padma Shri. She is a solid waste expert, which is one of the real pressing problems of every urban city today in the country. You know, the population explosion, the limitation of space, the challenge of logistics, and the accumulation of garbage, and the inability to deal with it is really a pressing problem that we have in every city today. So without further ado, I will continue with my pleasant task of listening to the panelists, and it will not be a Q&A format because of the paucity of time. We will allow each panelist to speak in their sessions the opportunities, and the startup community can actually pick up from the challenges being thrown into what kind of technological solutions that you can come up with to address these challenges. And I can tell you, being a part of TCS for 14 years and worked with the governments around the country and the world, there is no better joy than addressing technology that can address societal problems. There is it's a real high to be able to address technology that can touch people's lives. And I can say that for myself because I had the privilege of leading the TCS team to do, for example, the passport program, which I'm sure has touched many of your lives, and you would know the before-after of how this has impacted and simplified and made transparent and made more efficient the whole process of issuing of passports in the country. And there are several other examples that I can come up with, but without further ado, I'll pass on the mantle to Tusharamani to share her thoughts on the digitization opportunities in municipal administration and governance, and especially with the focus on impacting services to citizens.
Hello, everyone. Am I audible? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Basically, to begin with, everybody needs to understand what municipal governance is. The moment we say municipal governments or municipality, most of you just think it's just, solid waste management, garbage picking, or just the water, that's it. Many a times, even when I started my career as a municipal commissioner after clearing the state civil services, even my friends used to ask me, what's your job profile like? When it's DC or assistant commissioner or a tahsildar, people know. But when it comes to a municipal commissioner, people generally don't know. I'm sure many of you don't know. And it was like, perplexing for me also to explain to them. Then I found out a way. I told them, see, when you're born, I give you the birth certificate. And then through your journey, we give you water. We collect the garbage. We collect the wastewater. Then when you die, we give you the death certificate. That's the profile of municipal governance. And I mention this because you can see the huge opportunity that lies before you. So it's very vast. I have a small presentation, just to make you understand what we have already done and what lies ahead. Can I have done, what we have been doing? And like as I said, there are opportunities in water supply where we have to ensure reliable water distribution, waste management, roads and street lighting, where the energy savings happen, where now we are into switching over to the LED lights. Then there's the most important thing is the permits and the certificates and the licenses that we give. That could be the trade licenses, that could be many other, you will lay the OFC cables, the telecom towers, all those permits and licenses we give. Then we also have a grievance, opportunity in grievance redressal, wherein any citizen can reach out to the municipality. So as we all know, the whole purpose of any digital intervention is to reduce the physical contact between the governing bodies and the citizens. So that is where we have been looking at. And as you all know, the urban area offers a lot of challenges. There is a challenges in the infrastructure, there is a huge growth because of the population, and so we need to build the capacity accordingly. I have many things to say, but I'll just move on. We have received many awards also for that. We have a data society. We have our own data center where we keep all your property data, your certificates, everything is stored and you can access that. And it's already happening in reality in Karnataka. So these are all some of the applications that we have developed, we have the e-Asti for the property creation, Vyapar for the trade licenses, and we have a payment gateway, that is the e-Swikriti, and all this we have already done. But challenges still lay ahead us, and I'll just share the challenges what you people need to, where you have the opportunities. That's one is in the water supply, wherein we have to reduce the water losses. Our biggest challenge is the non-revenue water and the water losses, the water leakages. Their identification of the leakages is a big challenge because, as you know, the pipelines are well below the ground, and identifying those points, if we can have a technology, like we have now, suppose for this building, we now have a technology where we have a scanner, which was not there some 15 years ago, where you can know exactly where the rods have gone, so that if you want to make a hole, you can identify. So likewise, even in our distribution systems, we need a technology which can identify the leak points or the blockages just by scanning. Then we are now into meter reading. We have introduce some of the changes. We are going for automized meters and all that. We are shifting the technology. But detection is what we need people to intervene and innovate. Then another area is the wastewater treatment. See, the wastewater that we generate, like we use the drinking water, the same amount of wastewater comes. And that's a big challenge because our wastewater systems are like, we are still using the, now we have moved to the SBR technology, MBBR technology and all that. But now the new challenge is the nanobubble technology. If you can come to that, if you can really zero in on the nanobubble technology, and because that takes less space and it is sustainable. So if people can really look into that, because we do come across small plants or small capacity nanobubble technology used plants. But what we require is, because here it is in several MLDs, the wastewater that comes out the quantity is very high. So we need this technology to be upgraded. Then another area where we have lot of opportunity is solid waste management. This has been my dream actually. When I was working as a municipal commissioner, solid waste is, managing the solid waste is a very big challenge. And as the old adage goes, the only solution for pollution is dilution. That was in our college days. But now the only solution for pollution is decomposition. So if you can come out with either a microbial decomposer or a chemical decomposer, which can break down the waste, whether it is a wet waste or the dry waste or the plastic waste, because we all know that ultimately everything has to, even including our body, ultimately breaks down to carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. So the thing is, if we can break down anything to the basic molecule, then all our waste problem will be solved. So if you can take this challenge, I expect, I imagine like a day should come wherein I can buy microbial culture sachets as a shampoo sachet from a supermarket. Because decomposition, see, we have been trying with the composting, but we have challenges there, because at home also I have tried myself alone, I have tried composting, but we do not have the microbial cultures, readily available. If I have to tell somebody that you go for composting at home for the wet waste, I need to have the microbial culture which can, degrade the waste very fast before any other, maggots or some other small animals form. So this is a challenge which you can take up. These are all the things that we are, looking at. And then there is another area is when it comes to the wet, wastewater management, we have the manholes. Now we have come out with, companies have come out with all these bandicoots and all that machines wherein, they can enter into the manhole and do the cleaning. But we still need more advanced and machinery that is cost effective and which we can use very easily. So these are all some of the ideas just I am throwing in. There are many more, but because of paucity of time, I am not able to share. But definitely, anybody can reach out to me, and I'll give you some more ideas where you can really work on this. Thank you, because I'm just cutting short. The time is over.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think you have already given some food for thought in the terms of opportunities that can be there, real life problems. And some of the startups can really deal with real life problems and come up with technology solutions. I now turn to my second panelist, Padam Shri. She's a specialist in solid waste management, and she's going to give us her practicing experience in the city of Bangalore, that she's actively working with several real life situations and problems of dealing with solid waste management. So please, over to you, ma'am.
So I have exactly 5 minutes. I don't know how much I'll be able to cover. So what we have been doing is a lot of digital tracking in Bangalore, whether it's an auto that carries your waste, or whether it is the amount of waste that leaves a market, or the best part is now we have AI which does tracking of a street. For instance, we have 100 kilometers of South City, Bangalore, where we are tracking how many manholes, potholes, construction, demolition, debris, and waste management, dangling of wires, which is true for all of us. We have this problem. So we have AI technology which is directly relating all this data to the government, which helps in governance, because what we have found is technology is helping in tracking, which is also then going to put accountability and hence transparency also in the system. As we know, waste is one hell of a big problem, and speaking about it for 3 minutes or 4 minutes is just, it's impossible for me. But those of you who wish to work in any form of technology which can help make Bangalore cleaner or even make West Bengal cleaner, I'm all for it. You can reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for helping us to wrap up this session, because there's a big pressure on time. But you've got a glimpse of the kind of opportunities that can be thrown up, and it will be thrown up for us to solve as technologists, and especially disruptive technology coming from the out-of-the-box thinking of the startup community is going to be most welcomed. I can see the essence of change in the leadership of municipal governments. They are a lot more open to new ideas, and especially the young emerging technology section of society, where they believe that you can come up with solutions to these real life problems. Again, thank you very much for giving us a hearing. I hope we've been able to give you a little bit of a glimpse. There can be more sessions one-to-one. They are going to be here for the rest of the session. And with this, I want to thank my panelists for their inputs, and just once again reiterate that there's a vast opportunity here for technology to play in transforming and making ease of living for citizens, especially in a 50% population urbanized environment that we are going to see in India by 2030. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Chakraborty, Ms. Ballara, and Ms. Tusharamani. Sir, please stay on the stage. Ma'am, there is a token of appreciation. You have to on the stage for a minute only. So, Mr. Chakraborty to Ms. Ramani. And Mr. Chakraborty to Ms. Ballara. Thank you. A group photo, ma'am. Ma'am, if you can.